There's a fresh story, come and see. With Olivia and Jenny, be who you need to be. Honest voices, safe and strong. Come as you are, you belong. So take a breath, let's begin. You're not alone, we're here again.
Welcome to the weekly wrap-up with Olivia and Jenny.
Hello.
Today, we're going to be exploring the most banal, mundane topics and see if they alienate you.
I only finished a third of my Dunkin Donuts coffee yesterday.
That's crazy. I noticed today that sometimes when I'm talking too much, not too much, but I'm talking a lot in the mornings and my husband's not quite awake yet, it's the exact same look that you give me when I'm talking a lot
What
in
did
the
I tell you
morning.
this week? The only thing that annoys me about you sometimes are what?
Noise violations is what she called them.
Mhm.
Noise violations. Thomas,
What's the look?
you
Is
and
it
Thomas.
like it's like this? Like
It's
I
like I love you, but you are like I can't take
Yeah.
you in right now.
Yeah.
It's not, you never make me feel like I'm too much. Neither of you ever make me feel like I'm too much. It's just like I can see that you're
You
overwhelmed.
have a very strong energy, and I don't know if you know how strong your energy is. And I felt this since we were kids. I remember moments
crying,
being
but like from happiness.
being a kid, being like she's like commanding the room, like in a way that I wasn't. And it was and I use the word overwhelming, but not like in a bad way, but it was like it overtook everything. I remember
I
being
have
like
no idea.
10, 11, thinking that, and I knew you had no idea.
No
And
idea.
and then like there was, I can remember like a handful of times growing up when either your energy shifted very slightly and only I could tell,
Mhm.
or something triggered you and only I could tell, and I don't think you could tell. And I'd be like, your whole personality just shifted. And you're like, no, I didn't. It's fine. And I was like, no, you're really not the same person you were 5 minutes ago.
What do you think happened? Was it like somebody had hurt me and I
No,
was
it
like,
was a lot of like control things, I think. Like,
Mhm.
or probably a lot to do with my ADD, honestly, like figuring out situations. A lot of it was
yeah,
travel
that makes
related.
sense. A lot of it was travel related. I was just saying to Vivi, she's coming up again this week. We were just talking about how said something about Thomas and how he's a lot like you. Because I was saying, oh, I know what we were talking about. We were talking about like how correcting people like is a very intimate act in a way, and how we're in there are sort of both in our like, oh, you want to tell me 1 + 1 is 3? If it doesn't affect me, I don't care. Like that, fine. That's good for you. That's totally fine. And I was saying that it's very intimate to me to like get into it with people. Yeah, exactly. You're no fucks given era. And I was like, you and Thomas and our siblings are like sort of like at the top tier, and our parents are like the top tier for me. But like there's so many, I said, even with them, like I had to learn there are things like, where you park when we go places and you park really far out. Like I used to comment on it more. Now I don't really, right? Because it doesn't affect me. I like a walk. Like, but I there's a part of me, but like even with you, there's things that I just don't get into because of that. And I think that that's probably a lot of what you're talking about. A lot of this is why we're talking about noise violations, is that like a lot of my frustrations that I've ever had with you, I now understand are related to your ADHD. And a lot of your frustrations that you've had with me are because I'm on the phone with you and also making dinner crinkling paper.
The tinfoil. Really?
It's just hard because I'm often doing things in the kitchen.
I
there's
don't think, and this just goes back to what I was saying, I don't think that I don't think you hear it or perceive it the way that
well,
the
I don't
other
know what
person.
it's picking up.
Right. And it's the
Right.
same with your energy. It's like, and it's just that you have and this is just something you've battled with, I think, your whole life, is that you have an incredibly strong energy. And I don't think that you understand that.
By the way, I'd like you to know that my husband just asked me to close the door. So 1 second.
Noise violations.
The noise violation.
She got in trouble from her husband. got in trouble from her
difference between the door
husband. She
being
can't
like,
hear
I
me.
can't hear you, but the difference between the door being like almost closed and closed is big for like the sound
Yeah.
and the
Well,
flash.
same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry, what were
I'm
you saying?
upstairs. Oh, I don't know. Oh, just
You
that
were
you don't
talking
re- you don't recognize how strong your energy is, I think.
I don't think I have any idea how powerful I am.
And when we're sitting here and working together, it's really hard for me sometimes because your energy is really strong.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you just not? By the way, we don't need to do that.
No, it's fine. It's not like it's not a negative or a bad energy. I think that you really don't realize, like, because you're, my
I'm gonna
sister,
cry.
that
Like and like not like I think that like this is an emotional one. I think that I have no idea the power. Like I think that I don't feel powerful in that
right.
way.
And this is not like there's nothing negative I'm saying here.
No,
It's
I
that
don't feel like you're
just
saying
that
anything
it's
negative. I
like
feel like you're saying I'm powerful,
I
and I feel like
forget, like the difference between me like working. I'm just gonna use working here like alone as an example, and then when you come to visit and we work in the same. Not it's really only like when we work in this room together because it's very like
yeah,
isolated.
yeah.
But like you just have a very strong like puppy dog energy sometimes, where it's like you just kind of like want. I don't know, like, I don't think it's even that you want us to, like, be interacting, but, like,
No,
it's that I think our energies are so intertwined that it's very hard for me to, like
yeah.
it's almost like our soul energies are still
Well,
chatting when
it's
our
funny because I had like a this is gonna be just an emotional episode of the weekly wrap up. I
fun.
had like a really sad moment the other day where I was like, "Oh my god, you're so stupid." Me, Jenny, so stupid.
Mm,
Of course your sister didn't want you to move to Scotland. But what was she gonna say to you? She couldn't say, "Don't move to Scotland." I mean,
mhm.
she couldn't say, "Don't talk to that guy." Like, he might make you might end up moving to Scotland because, like, she wants me to be happy, so, like, of course I've broken her heart. And then I was, like, sitting there and I was like but then I was thinking about when I come back to New York and at the end of the trip, you're like, "I'm really glad you're leaving."
Do you not remember the first time you came back to visit and I completely burnt out and I had to sit
Yeah.
and stare at the wall for an hour?
I mean, I think that, like, it's true, and also, I was thinking about the fact that, like, one of the problems that we have is that when we're in the same place, we're
Yeah,
like, "Well, I don't wanna not be with you, even if I'm there forever." Like, we always wanna hang out together, but
yeah.
it's really not good
Well,
for
the
us.
other thing is we don't let each other not let each other. We don't our brains don't rest for 2
Right,
seconds when we're together. Like, there's
right.
constantly if it's not iterations of business, it's jokes, it's laughter, it's which is all good things,
Trauma.
drama, but it's
No,
not with
trauma,
us.
I said.
Oh, trauma. I was like, drama,
Trauma.
not with us.
No,
But,
not like,
and
yeah, it's talking about things,
it's just
talking about ourselves.
constantly right, or, like, constant, and so, like, we don't get the thing and that's why I think I get burnt out, and I mean, I
Yeah,
haven't since when you've come back to visit, but because 'cause I've learned to,
right.
like and I think we've both learned to, like, say goodnight, we take our time, we still do
Yeah.
our nighttime routines,
But
like
I think that, like, it's really hard, and I think that if I think about, like, when I have been there full time, you know, it's hard to, like, live our own lives
it
because
was
we just wanna
yeah,
do it together.
it was
And
really hard, yeah.
and I think about your kids, and I think, like, as much as they love me and as much as I love them, like, they also deserve time with their mom. Like, and their aunt
Well, it
just
doesn't
can't be there all
make
the
it
time.
special if you're here all the time.
It's also just not mom. I'm not their mom. I'm not their parent. Like, as close as we are, like, you guys have your own family, and I have to tell myself that, like, part of the benefit of me being here is that you guys get to define your own family in a way, like, that you would never wanna leave me out of, but also you would know that, like, the
Yeah,
kids weren't getting something.
the only person making you feel bad about living there is you, and perhaps our parents, but the
Dad today. I posted last night on Instagram. Pushed it to Facebook. I posted
I saw
that Glennon Doyle quote
yeah,
about disappointing yourself, and if your job is to disappoint other people as often as possible in place of disappointing yourself.
right.
And Dad said, "You've never disappointed me," and I said, "Well, I guess I've got to work harder." I
And that
commented
that's
back
not
that,
even true. I'm sure you have. I have.
yeah, you have. I haven't. I'm perfect.
I was the rebel, quote unquote, because I was in
So
AOL chat rooms.
Tess came along. Tess really
Uh-huh.
gave him a run for his
Uh-huh.
money on that one.
Yeah.
Now she's in business school. She's the
Yeah.
most they
No, I
really, like,
just
yeah,
yeah.
our younger siblings really, like, Tess is in business school, Colin's in a very traditional job, and then the two of us are doing our thing.
We're the weirdos. We're the gonzos.
Weirdos.
I hope that you don't feel bad because I think our relationship has only gotten stronger, and there's no way we could have built the business here together.
No,
there's not.
And there's also like, I know that like my relationship with Thomas has like allowed me to be a far more expansive person than I was before. Like I was in such scarcity and lack before.
But what would you say to me if I found somebody that I fell in love with and wanted to spend my time with them?
I'm far more magnanimous. You know what I mean? Like I'm a better person than you. I want to show you something in a second. I'm going to go off headphones.
Oh, she's going to go off headphones again. So I'm going to sing a song about her.
You can leave this in.
I'm going to leave in the fact that she's standing on a chair.
That I did this.
She's wearing mismatched patterns. Oh, you drew. No, you didn't tell me you drew Gonzo. That's so funny. And I said Gonzo. And I don't know why I said Gonzo.
I painted Gonzo.
She painted it. Hold it up for our clip. I just said the word Gonzo, and she painted Gonzo. Why Gonzo of all the Muppets?
He reminds me of Thomas.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I was watching Superstore, which I really, really love. And I think that it didn't get enough credit for what it was trying to do.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like it's won a lot of awards.
But the social commentary.
When Mateo gets taken by ice.
I was crying. But the episode I was watching last night, which relates to Muppets, is that it's called Playdate. If anybody's ever watched it, season 5, when Amy has to bring Parker, her baby, to work. Yeah. And so Glenn gets his wife, Jerusha, to watch Parker.
Jerusha.
And it's all about, like, what is a full-time mom, right? Like, is it working? Is she not working? Right. And so then Glenn says to Amy, like, it's okay. Like, Oscar the Grouch lives in a garbage can, and he survived. And she's like, are you saying my child is like a homeless Muppet? And, like, it's just really good. But it's a very interesting episode, like, about baby food versus homemade baby food. Anyway, that was
Oh, yeah.
And I have such a crush on Ben Feldman. So
I know you do. I just
you're Ben Feldman. When you get divorced, come find me.
But he's married?
He's happily married, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know happily, but he's married.
He's not married to you.
He's just adorable. I love him. And
he's adorable.
I like him on that show. And also that show talks about different family styles because he moves in and helps raise. He's there from the moment the baby's born. And,
I think maybe I'll need to rewatch that.
It's really good. He co-parents with Amy and, like, makes decisions with her. And it's really sweet.
Why do they do that? Just because he's dating her at the time?
Yeah. And then, like, she gets the raise. And so he moves in with her.
Yeah.
But he's there, like, for the birth of the baby. Like, it's really special. And
I love a show that has interesting family structures. I was just telling you I started watching The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah.
And in that, first of all, again, the actor, very cute. Love his accent. He's supposed to be, like, American-born but raised in Mexico City. And then, like, comes back here, here being California. I live in Scotland, so it's definitely not here. But he's in this show. So his ex-wife is Neve Campbell.
Right? Where's she been these days?
I don't know. She looks great. They have a daughter together who looks exactly like her cousin, Melanie. And then they're divorced, and then he gets married to Lorna. And by the time the show starts, he's divorced from Lorna, but Lorna still runs his office. And his Neve Campbell is Neve is the DA or is like a assistant district attorney, and he's a defense attorney. And so it's like kind of, and then like Lorna is now engaged to his investigator. So it's kind of just like mishmash of a family. And I love it. I love anything that has interesting family structures. I think that they're honest, and I think that they're, I don't know, they invite us to think about families in different ways. So anyway.
She's been divorced twice, it looks like.
Good for her.
And now she's with somebody
Finding
else.
her joy. That was our week. We laughed, we cried.
We talked about Muppets.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not terribly proud of it. It's not like it's great work of art, but I had fun doing it.
So speaking of Muppets, my kids' school concert was last night.
Yep.
And I would just like to shout out their music teacher, who was so enthusiastic and happy to be teaching these kids. And, like, we didn't have a music teacher like that.
We had one, and then she was a little bit bonkers. And then we had another one who I ran crying out of the room once.
And they sang 2 songs, which I sent. I Marco Polo Jenny so she could watch live, which I love.
Live, yeah.
In case anybody has long distance family, use Marco Polo. I you know what? I had 2 phones. I used my regular phone. I marcoed you on that, and then I took video with the other.
I love it. You
To
just
send because
start
their
bringing a
father did
tripod.
a video. And so
Their father asked for a video?
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I thought you said their father didn't, and I was
Oh,
like,
no, he did. He
I
asked
don't
for
know if you
video.
want to say that on camera.
And,
No, he did ask for
he
video.
asked for
That's
video
great.
of Weston playing tambourine and Wyatt singing. And
Tambo.
they sang 2 songs. So it's Weston's last year at the school, so I'm a little bit emotional about that because school was there for us for a lot of stuff post-pandemic.
Yep.
And so the first song they sang was "Time of Your Life" by Green Day, which was what I sang my 9th grade graduation from Eastwoods. Yeah, I was definitely a little emotional, and they sang, what was the one?
They sang Blind Melon, No Rain.
By
By
No
the way,
Rain
it's
by
one
Blind
of my
Melon.
favorite songs, and Thomas and I could not find the name of it. He was
Yeah,
like,
it's a weird, yeah.
Yeah, he was like coming up with other bands, and we just couldn't figure it out. And then they sang
I didn't know the other songs
By
they
the
sang.
Violent Femmes. Who says that song? I can't. By the way, it takes me about 45 seconds to figure out what song they were singing anytime that you mark
sometimes
with
it's
me.
very hard to hear. But in true fashion, Weston was, trying his hardest to smile while singing at the same time. And Wyatt was looking around the room and,
Surly would be the word I would use for Wyatt. Yes,
but it was beautiful. I have to say it was actually lovely because it was cool out and it wasn't so hot and it wasn't as packed as normal. So it was
interesting.
And I had a reserved seat because I was a 6th grade parent.
They have it at the Unitarian Fellowship that I worked at, which is
and that we did our grandmother's memorial at. So that was also
of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
A lot of
That
emotions.
building. I've spent a lot of time in that building, and yet nobody, again, I don't have to wear sunglasses when I go there. They don't know who I am.
And there's something very special about I was watching a lot of the teachers interact with the kids before the show, and I was, we were both teachers, and I loved my students, but you
the teachers at that school,
they love their students, and they were just in it with them, and it was so beautiful. And I'm very grateful for the time that both my kids had there. So that was lovely.
We hope you have the time of your life.
We hope you have the time of another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. So that was my night last night. And then we're working on a lot right now.
Yeah. What are we working on?
Well,
ourselves mostly.
I am doing that. I'm going to be honest. I've been in a place emo. I've been very emo lately. Not in a negative way, but just
in your feels.
In my feels. But when I was I remember being 14, 15, 16, I'm the utmost romantic, Pisces heart. And I feel like I'm getting back there where it's
that's amazing. That's so healed.
I know, but it's I'm listening to love songs again to be where's my person? And I hadn't been there in a long time. So,
you're back.
I'm back.
And now I remember being that age and lying in bed and crying and saying to mom, I just want to love. And now I'm babe, you were 15.
Yeah, I know.
You're so little.
It's horrifying knowing that Weston's going to be 12. And I was expecting the 12-year-old boys around me to know so much stuff when I was 12.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
I will say this. When I was about 12, Pitch Lindsay, I'm just going to say his name because I don't think he's going to listen to this.
Probably not.
Found out that I liked him. And maybe I did. There were 6 boys in my class.
Yeah.
There was nobody to choose from.
Yeah.
And he said he was going to punch me.
Yikes.
That is very bizarre. So, when I don't think Weston will do that. I think he's already better off.
Oh, no, I don't think he will either. He's living his own world.
Yes, but we expected them to know what to do. And then, we went to high school and we were now they'll know?
Right, no.
They went to college and we were now they'll know?
They're 45 and they don't even know.
Yeah, when I met Thomas, he was 42. And I think he kind of knew what,
No.
He knew what to do.
No, but I've been listening to, this just goes to tell you about my state of mind, to Feels Like Home, the John Hyatt song, but the Chantel Kruvisiak, whatever version, over and over and over. And then also a cover of the Golden Girls theme song I can't stop listening to over and over again.
Well, now you know how I felt when I couldn't stop listening to Hold On by
I know, it came on the radio the other day and I said that to the kids.
Yeah. It's Hold On by Wilson Phillips and Hold On by Tom Waits. And I just go back.
You like to hold on to a lot of things.
I like to hold on. I do hold on. Chantel, I want to say Kuzamarska, but that's because I think we went to a school with a girl named Kuzamarska.
Hold on. Let's Google this.
But
Ferdera.
Darren and Vivi get a lot of play on this podcast.
That's a V.
Kreviezik. Yeah. By the way, do you think that the song by Randy Newman and Bonnie Raitt is the same song? There's also a Diana Krall and Bryan Adams one.
I don't know. I have to make a
There's
playlist
a Dolly
now.
Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris one.
So I found this musician on Reels that I really enjoy, and JJ Heller. I will tag her when I post this. And she has beautiful covers of like some of our favorite songs.
Ooh.
Like You've Got a Friend in Me, which is really such a really, really great song.
Randy Newman is Randy Newman for a
reason. Will tell you, my my songs. She does Dream a Little Dream of Me. Oh, she has a beautiful version of I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles. And she has these different, I think it's supposed to be kids music, but it's like split up into like, it's like different albums. So it's like Love, Calm, Home. And it's like really lovely jazz.
You like kids music. You're like the biggest Okie Dokie.
I am the biggest Okie Dokie Brothers fan.
But I'm laughing.
Me and Emily Ash, my friend Emily Ash is also, I introduced Emily Ash to the Okie Dokie Brothers. Now she goes to see them more than I do.
Yeah, we haven't been in years.
Yeah. So anyway, she does a version of Friday I'm in Love, This Little Light of Mine. But I found her because I've been using them for our reels. And so occasionally she'll like our reels. And then I was like, I wonder if she's a musician. And then I
really want to know if this Bonnie Raitt Feels Like Home is the same version.
I think it is. And then I was listening, in case anybody needed to, I don't know, have some emotional cutting. I was listening to a children's version of, it's by Carly McKinnon. I don't know who that is. Of If I Had Words from Babe.
Oh,
I know. It's really not okay. I'm not in a
By the way, this version of Feels Like Home is from the movie Michael.
Oh, yeah, I think I did know that one.
The 90s were so bizarre.
So bizarre.
So that is, I love that. I love that because I think that I'm so glad to hear that you're coming back to that spot because that girl was such a romantic. And a lot of that was sort of just like emotionally manipulated out of you is what I would say, right? You were just, you were so tired and you were so.
Oh, the other song I've been listening to that is like ridiculous is The Luckiest. Like,
oh my God.
Over and over. Why, Olivia? Why?
By the way, I think the interesting thing to me about love songs written by musicians is like Ben Folds has never kept a wife.
Yeah.
Not that you can't, but that's why I like The Cure because Robert Smith has been with his wife forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm like, oh,
Bruce
those love
Springsteen
songs
too, right?
Bruce Springsteen, Tom Waits has been with his wife for a long time. John Prine was
later
with his wife.
Johnny Cash, I was going to say too.
Yeah, exactly. Leonard Cohen, not so much, but his love songs aren't really about long love stories.
Neither James Cohen. Yeah,
right. But I just, I like. That's why I love Tom Waits because it's like he's just been with his wife forever. I love Thomas and our song is by The Cure, and like Robert Smith is a romantic.
I think if I ever got married again, which is really doubtful, to be honest, but I mean the marriage part.
Yeah, the marriage legal part.
Well, let's just say if I ever threw a party with the person I was going to spend my life with, I think "Feels Like Home" is the song, is my song. I just love that song. I think that's what it should feel like. It should feel like that person's your home.
Yeah.
Also, my ultimate love song, which is from George of the Jungle, which is "Dela" by Savuka. Which is my favorite love song ever.
Oh my God. That movie is so good.
Because they say that they were waiting for redemption. And that's what love is. So, okay.
What was the song that made me cry this week? Oh, by the way, I think we're doing what I challenged us to do, which was to be as boring as possible.
Maybe not.
Nick of Time by Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, Bonnie Raitt. Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to see Bonnie Raitt in June. If any of our Edinburgh listeners are out there.
To the Edinburgh. What? There's a Bonnie Raitt song. Oh, is it "I Can't Make You Love Me"? Which is the one that makes me cry? I gotta look at her library.
But I looked up the set list for the show.
When are you going?
June 10th. It's a Tuesday. Exciting. Which I was like, I guess it's good that I'm going without Thomas because it will be a work night for him. I mean, for me too, but he gets home a lot more exhausted than I.
Maybe it's Love Has No Pride. I can't remember.
Love Has No Pride is a great one. Just like that. Have you ever listened to the lyrics? Do you know what that song's about?
No, but I have listened to it.
It's about a woman whose son dies.
Oh.
And his heart gets donated to another
Really?
man and the boy, and she ends up encountering this young man and, like, can listen to her child's heartbeat in his body.
Did she just make that up?
She read about it. She was like, heard a story and then, like, wrote a song. Very John Prine, right? That's very John Prine.
Interesting.
But I think I don't like, I've seen I'm gonna cry. I'm not PMSing. I've seen John Prine perform Angel from Montgomery, and now I get to see Bonnie Raitt perform Angel from Montgomery. That song raised us. That is our whole life, that song. So
Our whole life.
anyway.
And just this morning, to wrap up this conversation, I sent you Taj Mahal and Keb Mo have a new album out today, which is so exciting. And it's called Room on the Porch, and that's the best song on the album. I listened to it this morning.
Yeah.
But that song is so good. And I said to Jenny, this is our new anthem because it's about how there's always room on the porch.
Fry and Step is one of my favorite songs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love both. And I sent it to Dad, and he goes, Taj is still alive. That's his text back to me.
He's in Italy. He's got lots of
Dad.
not too easy to be on Facebook. Dad and I saw Taj Mahal and Arlo Guthrie at like the Tillis Center in like, I don't know, 2017.
I wish more things came to the Tillis Center. I would take Mom and go.
You should have to keep your eye out, I guess.
I saw Roseanne Cash there. Honestly, if I was thinking, I'm like, I'm going to check where they're playing Keb Mo and Taj Mahal. I would totally take Mom to go see that.
Oh, yeah. He was fun to see. I adore him.
Yeah.
I adore him.
Anyway, yes. Okay, so what was so anyway,
tell me something I don't know.
No, we were talking about what we've been working on, which is that we launched this week our first of I'm going to just say we're launching it. We're launching a series of books that is called the Divorce Guide series that came from it spiraled out of control from 1 book to 7. So now it's a whole rainbow of series. And so a lot of people ask us about our process for working together. And so I think this is an interesting thing to share, which is that often we come up with the ideas together, or I'll come up with some kind of concept and pitch it to you and say like,
or I'll come up with a concept and pitch it to you.
No, I know. I wasn't getting there yet. Like the what to consider when you're considering divorce or whatever came from meeting with people, right? Like what if stay-at-home parent book. And so it started as questions to ask divorce professionals when you're hiring a team.
We started this 2 years ago.
We started this 4 years ago.
The divorce, but the Divorce Guide was a project that we started 2 years ago.
Book series. And so we launched with all of these books.
Right. So we've been writing these podcasts. Nope. We've been writing these blog posts for 2 years. Mostly Olivia's been writing them of questions to ask divorce attorneys when you're hiring them, questions to ask realtors when you need to refinance your house, and then also how to get divorced as a stay-at-home parent, how to get divorced when you have no money, what to ask for when you don't know what to ask for and you don't have an attorney.
Really, 90% of this is based on things that I get from people, and they're like, I need this, and I build it for them.
But so she's been building a lot of this content over 2 years. And then, you take it.
Yeah, and so basically we have hundreds of these articles and blog posts that we've written and put together and, organized over the last, I would say really 4 years, because we've been writing blog posts for 4 years.
The Divorce Guide itself.
Yeah. And so then we were like, well, how can we support people in a different way? So we're launching this guidebook series. We're self-publishing. And
this is a wonderful application of self-publishing, I would say.
And so each one of these books, the ebook and the PDF will be free. You do not even need to put an email in. You don't need to give us any credit card information.
Go through Amazon or anything like that.
Nothing. They will just be on the website. So every book that I'm about to talk about, you can actually access for free as soon as it comes out.
Because some of them
we have some time. Yeah. But and so the ebook, so you can download it to your Kindle, wherever, your phone, and the PDF will be free. And then on Amazon, and then eventually, indie bookstores, we're going to have, and Barnes & Noble and stuff, will be the guides for under $12 each, about. And so
under $12.
This week, we launched the first one, which is called Your Divorce
Support
Team, right? And it's 250 questions to ask divorce professionals as you hire them, before you hire them, to make sure you're building a team aligned with you and your values. And so that is officially out. You can go to freshstartsregistry.com /books. It's up there. You can get the PDF, you can get the ebook, and then now you can go to Amazon and get the paperback version. And if you have somebody in your life that is going through divorce, this is a great thing to send them because you don't know what to ask people. The number one question I get is, how do I know it's a good divorce lawyer?
Yep.
And so we put all of this together. And then the next up in the series is going to be out shortly, called What to Consider When You're Considering Divorce. And it is 22 chapters of everything from the emotional, the financial, the real estate, the children, questions to ask yourself. This is a little bit more of like our, I would say like a fresh start guide kind of, like about how to ask yourself these questions as you're going through this process to make sure you're ready for whatever you need. And there's action steps. There's going to be worksheets. There's going to be checklists. I mean, that's what I've been working on and then
a lot of this, like whatever the things Olivia is saying too, like if you're like, shit, I am already in this phase or I have these questions already.
They're on the website.
They're already blog posts on the website. Go search. Our blog posts are searchable. There's a search functionality there. Search for whatever you need. And if you can't find it, contact us.
Yeah. And a lot of people look at us and they're like, you're crazy for just giving stuff away like this, but for us, it's way more important that people get the support they need. And, that's why we're here. This is our business is helping people. So we write the support that we wish that we had for all of these things. The next kind of books in the series are How to Get Divorced as a Stay-at-Home Parent, which is another one of the questions I get. There's nothing out there about this. So I'm so excited to release that. How to Get Divorced If You Have No Money, which is and this is all on the website. This blog post with 10 modules is already on the website. You can go and research. There's links. What else do we have? We have the divorce dictionary.
The divorce dictionary. We have the divorce guide, which is just going to be worksheets for things like creating a parenting plan, inventory, asset, budget tracking, parent time tracking, things like that. 1 second, I can't remember.
And then we have the what to ask when you don't know what to ask, but going through a divorce.
I'm looking at this. So we have your divorce support team, what to consider when you're considering divorce, how to get divorced as a stay-at-home parent, the divorce guide, how to get divorced if you have no money, divorce dictionary, and everything you wanted to know about divorce but didn't know who to ask.
Yep. So and they're beautiful books. So essentially what happens is we come up with an idea and an outline together. I kind of work on either filling in the blog posts we already have that we've written, or I write new stuff, make sure everything's like up to date as much as possible. And then, to basically ping Jenny to tell her what worksheets and stuff we need because she builds all of that. Then I write the manuscript for it. And then I hand it over to our publisher here, Jenny. And she turns it into a beautiful PDF and an ebook and a book. And she designs the cover and the back and all the things. And it's a beautiful, literally a rainbow of books. I was thinking I'm going to put a shelf right here and put all the books.
I love that. I know we're going to each have a full set. We have to, because the other thing that we are doing is that, and it says it in the front of each workbook each printed book, that if you buy a copy of this book and you don't feel comfortable having a book that says divorce on the front, we will send you just have to send us an email and we will send you a sticker to cover the book title. And we've also made sure that the back of the book doesn't say divorce on it. So that if you can just cover the title with a sticker, it will cover both the title and the subtitle of the book. And that way you can just feel like you don't have a book that says divorce if you don't want your kids to see it or something like that. And I came up with some really fun, boring titles for the books that it will look like it is instead.
Yeah, the backs are all more like self-helpy, like life transitions and like
they don't include the word divorce.
So we're always thinking about people for sure. But we're so excited. I literally am so excited to put these books into the world and work on them. And
me too.
I mean, they'll be out over time, but they are just so necessary. Like when we Googled, because we always make sure there's nothing else out there like this first. And there just isn't. There just is not the support.
Nope.
And I think because we're not divorce lawyers. And so we come at it from that angle of like, we have no freaking idea what we're talking about with, through my own divorce. Like it literally is a different language. And that's why we're building a dictionary, because there's nothing. children's books are going to be next. I'm excited to work on some children's books with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was something that bothered you this week? Was there a negative this week?
I don't remember this week. I didn't live
You
it.
say that
It
every
didn't
week.
exist. I know. I'm not good at being put on the spot with questions,
Okay,
and
what?
I tried to prepare myself for it too. What was my panic of the week?
Panic at the
I think
Disco?
that, like, my panic of the week was not Panic at the Disco. In a very real sense, I think that I just feel like I don't wanna push right now with business. I wanna
Mhm.
just let it flow.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to just let it flow because then you feel like you should push.
Yeah.
In a personal panic, my jaw is, like, bothering me.
Mhm.
I, like, lay down, um, on with my head on my
Mhm.
husband's chest last night just
Mhm.
to after dinner, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up and my jaw
Mhm.
hurt. He was like, "Are you clenching?" I was like, "I don't know. It feels like sinus related, so that's not
Mhm.
fun." And if Rilo Kiley hears this, please, please, please add some UK or Europe dates. Please,
Jenny
please.
Lewis, listen.
Jenny Lewis,
Mm.
bless this Modelo, and please add some UK dates. Or Europe. I'll fly it anywhere in Europe. I just don't
I'm
wanna
sure
fly back to
they
New York
might.
right now.
They might.
That show is sold out anyway. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, the magnetic fields came over here. So, those are my
Mm.
panics. What were your panics of the week?
I have, like, a lot of, like, life admin stuff, like school stuff for the kids. You know, May is really busy for schools
Yeah.
and parents, and like I said, Weston's going to a new school next year. I have to get all that stuff set up. It's just, like, a lot of life stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What else is my panic this week?
You don't have to have a panic.
I think I'm
Did you guys
trying to not.
successfully get my car inspected?
We did drop it off, yeah.
Okay. Did you talk to Seamus?
I stayed in the car
No.
and
He's
Pat
good.
dropped it off. We are successfully the most boring podcast ever. I'm gonna be honest, I'm nervous waiting to see if we won this Quill Award. Like, I'm a little nervous. Like, I really would like to win. So
Yeah,
I'm
winning it would be nice to
counting down
win.
the days. What about
Yeah,
your
when did they say that happened?
27th, on the 27th?
Oh, it's soon.
Yeah. What was your positive, like, rose this week?
Yeah, I've been finding clothes in the middle of little,
The
and I
middle of
think that
little.
that's my positive. I'm wearing a pair of striped white and navy striped linen pants that are very comfortable, and I'm wearing white and striped navy. They don't go together, but I needed something to wear on this podcast. This sweater, which they was the only one in the store, and they couldn't find a price on, and they just gave it to me for $5.99. So 6 pounds. Um, and honestly, just wearing cozy clothes that feel good. I also have started watching a new show. I'm one episode in, so I can't promise you it stays good. But Sirens, Julianne Moore
Hmm.
and Millie
Megan.
Alcock, and
Oh.
is that her name? And Megan Fahey, who I love. We
Mhm.
love Megan Fahey. Um, and it's very good so far. And I got really excited because I was watching it and I thought, oh, they're on a ferry. I wonder if she's going to Martha's Vineyard in the show. And then I was like, oh my God, she is going to Martha's Vineyard, which was exciting because my bestie Jen lives on Martha's Vineyard. So I looked it up to see if it was filmed on Martha's Vineyard. And no, it was filmed at Comset State Park, which is our local amazing state park that we love.
Mhm.
And I was supposed to get married there. Do you remember that? I was supposed to get
Mhm.
married there at the Rose Garden, at the Walled Rose Garden, but they didn't know that. So,
Mhm.
that was gonna be, like, a little bit of, like, a rogue thing. Um, and that was cool to find out, and then, like, I
Yeah.
was watching, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Comset." And the show's great, and I'm very excited to sit down and watch some tonight, I think.
You had to walk around incognito in Europe this week.
Yeah, Jenny Says So, my podcast that is produced by Olivia, was number 39 on the UK how-to charts.
Mhm.
And I went to the grocery store and nobody recognized me. It was
Not
a
yet.
bummer.
No,
I
so
mean, I
sad.
walk around in sunglasses all the time here. Because they're prescriptions, so nobody can
Mm.
see. Anyway, so those are my high points of the week. And a thing you don't know is that I went to the charity shop today
Mhm.
and I bought a really big thing of watercolor paper for 3 pounds.
Nice. That's a great thing to
I
buy at a charity
know.
shop.
I know. And that's what the woman said. I was like, I know. I get a lot of good
I've
art
actually
supplies
been
at charity
pitching
shops.
you for there's a piece, and I'm waiting to hear back from the journalist about etiquette expert about things to buy at a thrift shop.
Oh, you know that's the thing I love
I
talking
know,
about.
and I'm waiting to hear back. Um,
What happened to that piece about people who moved to other countries for love?
Oh, we have to pitch that. We didn't pitch it yet.
Okay, we got to do that. We should do that today.
Yeah. It was,
Publicist.
yeah, we have a couple writing pitches to do.
Publicist.
I know. I'm working on 4 million things over here. Well, my rose of the week was honestly like working on these books is making me so happy, and like
Good.
building out this series and being able to put books into the world. It's funny. I keep saying this, but I saw Psychic Julie, who is one of our experts, back in March. She gifted me a session for my birthday. We love our experts. And I said, and the way she does it is a little bit different. You can like ask her questions and then she'll see what comes up. And so I said, like, what's going on with the book? And at the time we're in the middle. We were with an agent whom we were pitching a book, 2 books. And she paused and she was like, have you thought about self-publishing? And I was like, we did that. We're not doing that again. And now we're self-publishing like 400 books.
I think that the right books, like, so the thing about these books that we're self-publishing is that they need to get to market. And I'm not interested in like
time. No.
They also don't really need like, what do they call them? Like the edits that are like content edits. Like that's not really what they are. There are a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It's not a book that requires a traditional publication.
No.
And I think that it also doesn't require the same. Most of these are already written. It's us compiling them.
Right.
And so I don't think that it's the same. This is a perfect example of when it is good to self-publish, because we're like, we just want to get it up and out.
And if you see them coming out quickly, it's because we've been technically writing these for 4 years. Like,
right, we're compiling blog posts that we're pulling together blog posts and filling in gaps. And so when you're like, wow, like, yes, it is amazing. And yes, Olivia is a total maniac, but also it's the difference between writing a whole new manuscript that is emotional and draws out from our personal stories, and compiling a list of questions that we've have in a blog post already and reformatting
No, totally.
them. So this is like a perfect developmental edits was the term I was trying to find. But this is the perfect application of self-publishing, because we just want to get these books out, and these are not books that would net a large advance.
And we're not putting them on Amazon to make money like that. We're putting them on Amazon.
We're putting them on Amazon because I know that there are other women out there who are exactly like my sister, who would download this PDF and then go, I don't want to print 200 pages on my printer.
No, and I don't read ebooks. And there's a lot of people who don't know about us yet who will Google search, how to get divorced as a stay-at-home mom, and the book will come up. So, No, and
I think we wanted to make it available as a PDF or an ebook so that you could feel safe reading it wherever you wanted to. And then we also wanted to make it available as a pre-printed thing. And like, listen, we would love nothing more than to be able to print copies and give them away to people, but we are not there yet. But if you guys keep sending experts our way, maybe one day we will be.
Yeah.
Be the Dolly Parton of divorce libraries.
Exactly. No, I'm just so excited to have something to, give to people when I talk to them and, have my consults and stuff. Okay. What is your weekly wisdom this week?
I don't know.
You ask me every week and then I'm not prepared and then I don't know what to say. That's you.
Wow. Like, you guys, here's my weekly wisdom: is teasing isn't love.
No, it's not. It's the utmost form of love.
No, here's actually
that's what I was told.
Here's my weekly wisdom: is that it is not being high maintenance to ask to be known and seen in a relationship, whether it's a platonic relationship or a romantic, non-sexual relationship or regular romantic, run-of-the-mill romantic sexual relationship. I think that we have gotten it into our heads that somehow it's high maintenance to ask to be known and seen. Your partner should know your recipe for a good day. If you consider them a partner, they should be at the level where they know your recipe for a good day. I would say anybody that I consider a close friend could build my perfect day for me if it was a special event. I'm really tired of the excuses like, well, you can't expect your husband to read your mind. Yeah, but you should expect him to know about you and know who you are and know what your likes and dislikes are. This is the hill I will die on.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, what about you?
I had like 4 things that I was going to say.
Oh, okay. couldn't share any with your sister.
Make
You
sure
put
to
her on
put
the spot.
captions on your social media videos if you're talking. That's a big
Mhm.
thing for me because I'm often watching them while my kids are watching TV or something, and I want to catch up with what you're doing, but I really need captions. So
Accessibility counts.
accessibility is really important. Um, Other weekly wisdom. My mug says trust the process, so we're gonna go with that today. Trust the
Oh,
process.
isn't that the truth? Isn't it the
Isn't
horrible
that
truth
the
that we all
truth?
have to know?
Yeah. If you are interested, just before this episode, we have a really quick episode with our friend Leslie Gray Streeter.
Oh my gosh, yes. And
Well,
your
no,
episode
different
on
episode.
divorce I
Oh
know, but your
yeah,
episode on, How Does She Do It All
yeah.
with Leslie was wonderful. I really enjoyed
Well,
it.
we love Leslie Gray Streeter, and she's brilliant. And so she has a new book out called Family and Other Calamities, and
I
I
wanna read it.
I do too. I'm so excited. I interviewed her about it. I'm gonna pre-order it just now, and she talked about her process. She talked about moving from a memoir writer to a novelist, and it
Mm.
was a really lovely episode. So go back one in the feed and listen to that. We're doing a new thing where we interview people about their books because we have so many great friends who are writing books.
Yep.
And then we have on How Does She Do It All this week. Adrienne Wright's episode is up, which is a beautiful episode about raising her daughters and their recipe for peace. Then we have Scarlett Longstreet's episode is up, which we're promoting today, about how single moms deserve time by themselves sometimes. And then Leslie Gray Streeter's episode is up, and she's a widow and about raising her son.
Mhm.
Fantastic. And then my episode is up. So we're going to be promoting these slowly over time. I think everybody's tired, so I'm not pushing promotion like I used to. I'm just kind of like putting it out. Like you said, I'm not pushing anything.
I
It's
think
out
we're
when
in
it's
our
out.
flow.
Yeah.
You sent me something the other day about how, like,
Mhm.
we're supposed to be letting things flow.
Yeah. And people will find it when they listen to it. Like, it's fine.
Yep.
And we are almost at 100 episodes of Divorce Happens. So if you know somebody that is going through that, or you are, go take a
Mhm.
listen. We have some great episodes recently with all of our experts about psychedelic drugs and apologizing to your kids. Not the same episode. And all sorts of fun things.
I think Ashley would promote apologizing to your kids.
Yes, she would.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will see you next week. Did I miss anything?
No, I'm just very tired all of a sudden.
Maybe it was the emotional journey we just had in the last 47 minutes.
Good.
Okay, people. We love you. Stay cool.
It's a fresh story, come and see. With Olivia and Jenny, be who you need to be. Honest voices, safe and strong. Come as you are, you belong. So take a breath, let's begin. You're not alone, we're here again.